Hi everyone, welcome to the Knitting Den. This is episode number 119 and today is Tuesday, July the 1st. You wouldn't think it was July here in Colorado. There's no sun shining and it's a little bit cool out here on the porch. Yeah, it's going to only be 72 today and yesterday it was over 85, I think. It was very hot. I'm quite liking the cool morning. My name's Denise. I'm also known as Knitting Den on Ravelry and Instagram. And this, I'm going to have to tip the camera, is Bindi. Hi. Say hi. She has to be out here with me. If I leave her inside, she'll just yap at the door. I'm sitting on the opposite side of the porch this morning because it is very still and I'm hoping the lighting's okay and I'm hoping you can hear me all right, but there's no breeze whatsoever. I can hear the birds and if she sits like this the whole time it would be great, but of course not. She heard a dog, so I might be stopping and starting this. I'm trying to point the camera down a little so that I'm not the picture's not as dark, because when I lift it up I go dark, and if I tip it down slightly without chopping my head off it looks a bit better. So welcome back to everyone, that returning viewers, or viewers not being the word I like to use, friends. I never think of you as a viewer, to be honest. I always feel like I'm just sitting down, knitting and chatting with friends who knit as well. It's kind of like Skyping or FaceTiming with you. I just can't see you on the other end, but I always know you're there. So welcome back, and welcome to new viewers. If you're watching for the first time, it's great to have you here. I live in Colorado, and for the past couple of weeks I've been recording out on the porch because the weather's finally got a little nicer. I'm going to try something different this time. With my notes, I've put them on these little cards. So I feel like if I turn one over once I'm finished talking about that topic, I'll not forget things. When I have a long list of notes, I tend to miss certain things and forget to tell you. So with that said, Ravelry group members, welcome everyone that's joined, and I want to say a special welcome to Nora, I think I wrote that down right, who is BL Evans 24. She's in Grand Junction in Colorado, so hi Nora. And I want to say hi to Katie, who is, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, it didn't work, KHG Knits, and you are in Virginia Beach. So hi Katie, thanks girls for leaving an introduction, I always appreciate it. I think that's everything on my first card. So, July 1st. It's July 1st. There's lots of things happening today, and those being, I'm going to look at my notes again. I'm terrified I'm going to miss something. We're starting the Christmas in July knit along today. We are starting our read along, and I'll talk about these more in that section. We're doing a read along. I'm going to be casting on a huge project, my very first ever, it's almost like a jacket, and I'll talk about that again in whips. It's called Forest Elf, but I'm starting a knit along with a friend. There's just the two of us going to try and knit this garment and motivate each other and encourage each other as we go. And the shop update is today, the Kiki Boo bags. And there's also news about the kits, and it's the start of my Christmas in July sale in the shop. Ooh, it's getting a bit breezy. It's quite chilly out here. I am wearing, and I forgot I know the designer is Tina from Knitting Blooms podcast. She's Blooming Knitter. I forgot what it was called, and it was actually gifted to me. I might actually wrap it more around my shoulders. I'm trying to show you the pattern. I think I've showed you it before, but it's such a pretty lace pattern. This was gifted to me last year, and I absolutely love it. And it means so much to me, more so than any shawl that I've ever knit myself, obviously. So I'm going to wrap it around my shoulders because it is kind of chilly. But I'm not complaining. Don't you bark. See, she hears a dog over there and she'll bark. Okay, so that's lots happening today. And also today, we have the June finished object drawing. Don't you dare bark. She's running off there. Noisy little thing. She's back on the couch with me. I don't have to pick her up, she just sits with me all the time. But if she barks again, I'm going to have to put her inside. As I was saying, it's also the June finished object drawing today, and I've already drawn a winner so I can just go straight through. Hope that's not going to make a noise. I can hear the tree leaves. So there was 155 entries in the June finished object thread. Thanks for putting the entries in. I have to say I have to give a little shout out. Diane, I loved your little caterpillar and I'm so glad I've got your knitting toys. They're fun when you find a good easy pattern, don't you think? So that looks fabulous. Unfortunately you didn't win, but I did pull a number. It was up to 155. I did a random number generator and the winner was number 103, and that is Maria Maid, and she is, of course, Maria, and she's in the UK. So contact me. I don't think I've got your address, Maria. Get in touch, and of course I have a Kiki Boo bag for you, but it's not made yet. You'll get a surprise once it's in the mail to you. All right, where are you going? You can't go over there. And I've got my bags here, so get off them, please. You sit there with Mummy. Before we just jump into finished objects, my week this week. It's got hot here, and I'm not liking it. Mid-80s and up to 90 is just too hot for me. And I wouldn't mind so much if somebody was staying with me, especially, you know, family from England, but I'm not missing the heat at all. I love days like this, and I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, but it doesn't help that my living room is full of windows and it just gets so hot in there in the afternoon. I have some curtains I can close, but some windows don't have the curtains. So I'm not saying I don't want it to be sunny, but it's just not as pleasant for me as it used to be, you know, years ago. Anyway, other than that, we did not get to the Renaissance Fair last week. And I'll tell you why. Moving straight into, it was Saturday. Sunday. We were going to go on Sunday. Saturday, I actually Skyped, or actually it was in the Google Hangouts. I chatted with a few friends from the Sock Bunny retreat that I was at in February. So we chatted for an hour and knit together, and that was fabulous. I hope we can do that a little, a bit more. Also Saturday, Kristen got a text from a friend, short notice, but they were having some kind of a block party. Did she want to go over? There were, there's bouncy castles and balloon fights and all that. So hubby took her over to our friends and came back. A few hours later, she texted me and said her mom, the girl's mom, said it was okay if she had a sleepover, if it was okay with me. And I said, that's fine. She doesn't need pyjamas, for one night, few hours, and not even a toothbrush. I just said, you'll be fine, and I don't need to come over again. I'll come tomorrow morning, which was when we were going to go to the Renaissance Fair as well. Oh, that was all nice until midnight, actually 12:15, and I was still up with hubby watching TV upstairs. My cell phone rings, and it's Kiki. And I'm like, oh no, what's wrong? And then a split second later, I thought, oh, I know where it is. Sure enough, she wanted to come home. She's done this once before. Excuse me. I get my coffee here. She's done it once before, but she was much younger then, about 7 or 8, I think. Anyway, she's 13 now. She didn't want to be there. She just knew she couldn't get to sleep. And as she puts it, she was homesick. And I said, it's after midnight. And she, I know, but will you come and get me? Well, what was the answer? Of course I would. I would never, ever leave her anywhere that she didn't want to be. And I've always said, I don't care what time it is, especially for sleepovers, this is what I'm talking about. I don't care if it's midnight, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. If you need me, call me and I'll be there. I'm picking you up. So actually, hubby was the sweetheart and he went to pick her up. And when she come home, I just hugged her and said, I'm so glad you're home, because I can't settle if she's not with me. So I was happy. And then we all slept well. But the next morning, she was too tired to go to the Renaissance Fair, to be honest. I asked if she wanted to go. She said, we don't have to. And she was pretty wiped out. It was nearly after 1 o'clock in the morning that she got to bed. So, all well. All's well that ends well, or whatever it is they say. All right, let's move on. One more thing. I want to say a quick thank you to Dan, Obi-Wan Knitter, for some advice and help he's been giving me this week about the YouTube issue. I had no idea I could try to upload directly to YouTube from the software I use for the video, which is the Windows Live Movie Maker. I'm going to try that this week and see if it works. I could not stop it from posting twice last week. Don't want that bit of hair flapping. So, Dan, I really appreciate you taking the time to get back to me, and I'm going to give it a try. Hey, I'm moving on really fast. I do want to try and get my podcasts down to 45 minutes or less so that I don't have huge files or issues on YouTube. I can upload larger files, it's not a problem, but I really don't want to take it up to an hour if I can help it. All right, let's move into, and I hope I've got everything with me, finished objects. And have you got your coffee with you? Because it's a fabulous cool morning to be drinking coffee. To be honest, it feels almost like fall, and I'm loving it. And look at this. I know I keep dipping the camera down, but look at that. She's so fluffy I could die. Okay, finished objects. Let's get into my bag. I did finish her, totally. This is Bakery Bear for me, and she's adorable. And I put some green, as you can see. Let's give her a close-up. She's got green yarn around her dress. This is supposed to be kind of like a red and white and green theme for Christmas. She's got her shoes on. I do not like when I think one leg is shorter than the other. So, sorry Mrs. B, I'm going to pull on your leg. I just did little bows on there because I've got no buttons just yet. Oh, there's that dog again. She is one leg shorter. Don't you dare! But anyway, I've made it where I can take her shoes off, because I plan on making her some little outfits. Seasonal, of course. So next one I do, I'll not get her one red, white and blue done in time for July, but she could wear it for Labour Day, I guess. And of course I might try an orange and black kind of outfit for Halloween. So she'll be making an appearance. Look at that. It does look, I do not like that. It looks like your leg is so short and I keep pulling on it, sorry. And I hope I'm not chopping my head off too much. Sorry if I'm doing that too. So she's totally finished the pattern, and I did bring it. I'm going to be leaning forward, sorry. I did bring it out with me. It's a fabulous pattern. Most of you that watch the podcast probably know about it by now. Kay Jones, one of the hosts from the Bakery Bear podcast. Is it Bakery Bear's podcast? Yes. She's the designer. Pattern is fabulous. I knit one, sent it to my mum. I've knit this one. I've never knit two of the same toy so quickly in all my life. I am very seriously considering Mr. Bakery Bear pattern, and it would be for me. And I love his little sweater that Kay designed, the little cable sweater, and the shorts or the little pants. So that might be on the needles in a few weeks or a few days, to be honest. Right, so you can sit. Can you see her? Yeah. Well, I'll sit her on the top of there. Look, she's going to stay. She might fall off. Tell me if she falls off. You can see her a little bit. Okay, itchy nose. Nose nudge. And moving on. Oh, before I forget, I knit her the same yarn as the first one, Cascade 220. I don't know what the name of the colourway is. And her dress and shoes and everything is Knit Picks Merino, 100% Merino. So yeah, I did worsted weight because the last dress I thought was a little small. But to be honest, I kind of like the fit of the last dress that I knit in the DK weight. So, and the shoes I think are a little bit big. Sorry, Mrs. B, I'm picking all over you. Picking faults with her. But we'll see. She's still cute how she turned out. With that, we'll move into works in progress. One of the main things I've worked on this week is the forest foliage. And I did bring my book to show you. And it's still in this little bag. This size that I make is normally for socks, but when you start off a shawl, you can keep it in here for quite some time until it maybe gets a little large. Depends on how big the shawl is. And excuse me, but I'm just going to adjust that piece of hair because it's bugging me. Okay, forest foliage featured in this fabulous book, and you can see it right on the back there as well. Botanical Knits 2 by Alana. I always say Dacos, I'm never sure which one. And I should have made the page. Here it is. This is what I'm knitting. Look at those gorgeous leaves. And I started knitting this because I had some yarn in stash, and I've used one of the alternative yarns that she suggested, and it's Malabrigo Sock, which is one of my favourites. See, it's not very clear because of the lighting, but it's gorgeous browns and amber, or you know, orangey brown, burnt orangey brown colours in it. And here it is. I'm using a size, I don't have, what am I using? Oh, 7. I'm using a size 7 for the sock. And I have knit on this all week. I took the doohickey out, but I think last week I had just finished the first, if you can see it, first leaf, or the first chart for the leaves. There was only about 3 on there. I was just about to start chart B, sorry. And that would give me this row of leaves. Almost. And as you can see, I've started chart C. I absolutely love it, and it's kind of like knitting self-striping socks. You just want to, you just want to see the next leaf appear. Obviously, I could do a chart pretty quick, but as it gets bigger, it's going to take longer. But if I can get one chart done each week, as it gets larger, more stitches on the needles, I would be happy with that. If I can accomplish one chart, I can move on to other works in progress. So the colour of this is called Arbol. That's how I pronounce it, A-R-B-O-L, I think. And there it is. And I love these. I love this pattern, or the lacy part as well that surrounds the leaves. It's a fabulous pattern. I wouldn't say it's easy, but I am kind of getting the hang of it. I think I mentioned last week that once the yarn overs increase between leaves, you kind of got to just figure them out yourself. And I'm getting used to that now. I'm counting them. So that is one of my main works in progress. I will be working on that quite a lot because I'm enjoying it a lot. The other thing I worked on a little, it's the hummingbirds, if you can hear a little trill noise. I needed a pair of socks on the needles, just plain, so that if I'm just watching TV and I don't want to do that lace in case I mess up, I've got to have something in my hands. I've decided, and this is not a new cake of yarn, I've decided to start using my leftover sock yarn, and I'm wondering, I don't know yet, I'm wondering if I can get a tiny pair of little anklet socks as well as a pair of socks, because I don't make very long socks. So this is one of the little halves of sock yarn from Dancing Dog Dye Works. It is a self-striping, and here it is. Some of my favourite colours together. And I've got this left as well. I mean, you might be looking at it, and if you're pretty experienced, you could probably say straight away, you're not going to have enough yarn. I have no idea. And if I don't, I'm just going to join on some other yarn. Say like if I run out for the cuff, because I just like them as little, almost like bed socks, you know. I just love wearing little anklet socks. So that's all I got done. I'm just doing a plain taupe, cast on 12, and I get to 30 on each side. I only do 60 because I have quite a skinny kind of foot. So that's an easy peasy on the needles. I've never knit that many self-striping. I think I've only had 3 skeins of self-striping yarn. So I got to think about that and try and get some in my stash ready, because I really do like the stripy ones as opposed to the variegated. Okay. My coffee's probably cold, but I'm going to have a sip anyway. Yes, a little bit chilled. Don't fall. It's hard to see the view behind me because of the lighting, I think. You can see I'm moving it. You can see the little mountain over there. And then you've got all the trees. So I hope you're enjoying it. I've had a lot of PMs. I'll put that back down again. Hopefully I didn't mess up the lighting. I've had a lot of PMs and a lot of comments in the Ravelry group saying that you really enjoy being out here. So I'm so happy about that. Let's move into some knit-alongs. No, actually I'm still on the whips, and I keep thinking I'm chopping my head off, and I don't want that. Still on the works in progress. Today, as I mentioned, I'm casting on for a forest elf pattern, and it's in this magazine, and I'm just doing it with a friend, and I didn't mark the page, so it's got to be down to look at it. I'm doing this with a friend who has the pattern. It's huge. It's a big long jacket. The biggest thing I'll ever have knit. Prior to that it was hubby's cardigan. So I'm casting on that today, I don't know if I've got gauge yet. So I am using, and I didn't bring the ball band I don't think. You're not getting true colours, it's a little lighter than that, but it is like a foresty green. I did a swatch. It looks very dark here. I've done a swatch. Did I put a little tag on to tell me the information about it? No. Can I remember what size needle I knitted? No. So, I decided I need to swatch again, because I can't even remember. I'm not even sure if I'm getting gauge. I haven't studied it yet. I decided I would cast on again and start doing some of the rib. It's got a little rib around the cuffs and I think it's the edge and around the hood. So I decided I might as well cast on the amount it says for the sleeve. And I'm using a sleeve. It's not really, it might not be. I think I might be ripping it out. But I've cast on and done this little cable effect. This is like a 4 cable where you just knit 2 together, keep them on your needle, and you know, put the needle into the first stitch again. So you don't need a cable needle. But it's a fabulous, I love the little pattern. And it's great on the cuff. Now, I've washed this and blocked it. I started on some of this plain stocking stitch. And again, I haven't checked the gauge. I'll do that today, but this feels a lot looser than this. And this, I started on a size 6. I'm thinking I might have done a size 5, US 5 on this, because this is, it's just a lot more open, I think. There's the back of it, and you can see through a lot. There's the back of this, and you can't see as much. So I got to work on that before I cast on, because I do not want this to be the wrong size. If anything, I'd rather it be big. If it's too small, I can't do anything about it. If it's big, at least I can just wear it when it's cold, around the house, you know, wrapped around me. We'll see. Okay, with that, let's move into some knit along news. Ooh, it's getting a bit breezy. I hope that might be really noisy. Let's move back over to the other chair because it is quite chilly on this side. Alright, this might be a little bit better for the rest of the show. I really don't like the rustling, the wind if it gets too loud. I don't mind the trees rustling, but if the wind is kicking up, I thought it'd be best if I just move on this side. Plus it's a little bit, it's not as chilly because I get that like a downdraft from the side of the porch. Alright, so as I was saying, knit along news. It's the start of our annual Christmas in July knit along. And I think it's a fabulous day for it because, as I said, it makes me feel as if it's fall and not the height of summer. So it's not too early to start thinking about Christmas gifts. If you're joining in, thank you. And I hope if you're knitting gifts, I hope it gives you a good start this month to get some on the needles or start thinking about them. If you're not knitting gifts, and I'm not sure, the only gifts I'm knitting is for my spoilie in the year-long knit-along, so that will be classed as, whatever I'm knitting this month will be classed as that. So if you're not knitting gifts, you can still join in and just knit something with a Christmassy theme. And I'm just going to leave that up to your discretion. I will say, if it's something small, dishcloths, ornaments, 2 entries, even if it's, well, if it's something large, for everyone, the maximum of 2 entries, please, in the thread. I've opened up threads this morning. There's a chatted thread, so you can chat about what you've got plans for, and then there's the finished object thread, just pictures only for the drawing. And it says in the thread what the prizes are going to be, so you can check that out. I still have to knit some ornaments for my year-long knit-along. I think I've got an idea of which ones I'm going to knit now. I just really couldn't decide, so I hadn't started them. But I think I'll put some on the needles this week and get them, off the needles, so to speak, and put away for the swap. Okay, moving on. I left my coffee over there. That's all right, it was a bit chilly. I mean, it was a bit cool, the coffee. Moving on to show and tell. Gotten on. So let's jump straight into book talk. We are starting our read along today. I did finish the book for book club in the neighbourhood. The meeting is tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that. And the book was The Secret History, and I think it was Donna Tartt, the author. I'm just guessing again off the top of my head. It was a very slow start to the book, but I did enjoy it. It got quite interesting. And the end was like, okay. I mean, that's all I'm going to say. But I enjoyed it, which is the big surprise to me. So I will look forward to the meeting and I can join in with the conversation. If you would like the book, and here's what I said last week, I'm not opening up a thread. If you want the book, just PM me. Tell me you would like it, I'll pop it in the mail. First one to PM me, that obviously I don't have more than one book, so I'm going off the first one that PMs me. You can find me on Ravelry as Knitting Den. Send me a PM and I'll pop it in the mail. If you're not the first one, I'll just reply and say, it's already gone. That's the way I'm doing it this week, or this month. So, getting back to our read-along, there's so many of us going to start this today, and I'm super excited. I cannot wait. Death by Cashmere, Sally Goldenbaum, and it's the first in her Seaside Knitters Mystery series. I've not really read any of the knitting mysteries. I know Maggie Sefton is a very popular one. I've generally read Debbie McCormack, as I call it. That kind of Blossom Street. I loved that series. And there is some other ones, and I've not made a note of them, but I've read some other fiction ones. So Kate Jackson, of course, the Friday Night Knitting Club. Kate Jacobs? Jackson. Oh gosh. Don't you dare bark. So this is the first mystery one, so I'm excited because I can never guess who the killer is. So if you figure it out beforehand, obviously don't tell us. But that's why I like to start trying to read a mystery. I don't read many of them, but I have in the past read some, and I never can figure out who it's going to be. So thanks for joining in if you are starting. Get ahead, let's get reading. As it's summertime, it doesn't feel like it, but it's summertime, so if you're on vacation, if you're down at the beach, if you're around the pool, or if you're just in the house, staying cool with the AC wherever you are, get reading. There is a thread in the Ravelry group. Go ahead and look and see how much we're going to read this week. Next Tuesday, I'll give a little review or ask some questions or just chat generally about it in the book talk section. And I think we're reading up to chapter 10. So check it out. Just double check. And if you are going to leave any comments in that thread, be careful that you don't mention anything ahead of time if you are a fast reader and you've gone past chapter 10. All right. Wow, I'm whizzing by. Girly chatter. I've been so busy, I haven't even had time to think about what to chat about. So, sad to say, I'm going to move straight into the end of the show with the shop update news and the kit news. I feel bad not having any specific girly chatter, but I'm just busy sewing and I'm busy trying to knit things and get them finished and busy making beads and whatever, stitch markers. I keep trying to think about it, but I've not come up with anything specific, any topic that I think might interest you. So I will keep working on that and keep thinking about it. Let's move into, finally, the shop update. Kikiboo bags. The Kikiboo kit. I have some exciting news. The yarn is on its way to me. Michelle from Dancing Dog Dye Works has dyed the yarn to match the bags. I brought the bag out. If you've missed what the bag looks like, I brought it out again. I did forget one thing, but that's okay. You'll see it when I take pictures. I was going to bring up the beaded bookmark that's going to go in the kit, but I forgot. So this is the bag. The Book Lovers bag kit. And just full of really pretty books and the colour scheme. I can't wait to see the yarn because I love this colour scheme. I would class this blue as kind of like a light duck egg blue, I want to say. That's, you know, it's looking a bit true to colour on there because I'm on this side of the porch. It is just lined with the white cotton. I'm going to have some large drawstring bags. You know, I don't know how many of everything I've got. The yarn is on its way. It'll be with me in a couple of days. As soon as I get the yarn, I can take pictures of the whole kit. And don't worry, I am giving plenty of heads up before these go into the shop for pre-order. So I am kind of thinking that I might be able to, I can get them in the shop sooner, but I want to give you lots of notice because I know I've had lots of messages. I can't take pre-orders, but I said I would give as much heads up kind of thing as possible. So I'm thinking it's Tuesday now. I'll have the yarn before the weekend, can take pictures. I think I'm going to shoot for putting them in the shop next Friday. I will announce it in the Kikiboo thread on the Ravelry group. I'll announce it over on Instagram. I'll announce it, I have a Facebook page, but I very rarely add anything, but I'll announce it there. The announcement will be on the shop notice. I'm trying to think where else. I will just announce it as many places as I can. Just keep checking the shop, kikiboobags.etsy.com, if nothing else, because that will confirm the date and the time, and it's usually 2 p.m. EST, 12 lunchtime for me, about 7 o'clock in England. and Europe. Europe might be slightly different. So today we're having the opening of our annual Christmas in July sale in my little shop. I've made some Christmas bags. I've made a few stitch markers this year, Christmas stitch markers, and not just Christmas items, there'll be a few seasonal items. You'll find something in there with pumpkins on, and non-Christmassy bags, you know, just fabric that I've wanted to make a bag with. I sew whatever I feel like sewing, so if there's a fabric I like, I'll get it and I'll sew a bag. I might sew the same bag in a few weeks' time. I fetched 3 up that I've not took pictures of yet, but they're going in the shop today. And the update, along with the sale, will be starting at the same time as I normally do updates again, which is 2 p.m. EST, 12 o'clock Central. Am I Central? No. Yes. 12 o'clock for me in Colorado. And 7 p.m., not too late, for anyone over in the UK. If you're in a different country, just try to, for me, just look up and see what time that is for you. I've made this one this week. See, that Dan and Kate got me thinking about home and making me homesick all the time. So I got this fabric because I loved it. I love the telephone box and Big Ben. This is a size small with the matching seeded bupper pill, beaded zipper pull. Inside it's the Union Jack. So I have got that one done. It's a little sock bag. That will go in today. This one always reminds me of Scotland, Argyle. I love it. And it just reminds me of anything Scottish as well as, you know, St Andrews, golf. It's got a little beaded zipper pull and plain inside. Again, just a little sock size. And the last one is Christmassy. Absolutely love this colour scheme. It reminds me of like sugar plum fairies and things. You know, pinks, soft blues. And inside is very colourful. I love that. So, not your typical Christmas colour scheme, but I love it. And you see, if you're a girly girl like me and love pink, I've even put the pink zip on for you. I'm going to reach a couple of things that I brought out still for the shop, and there's some of the stitch markers, so hold on. I did put a few pictures in Instagram, but if you're not on Instagram, these have not gone in the shop yet, so you won't have seen them, but I will have some stitch markers like this, the Silver Charm type. There's 5, and on Instagram I was showing that I've been trying to come up with a new design, just cardstock printed, and I antique the edges because I like that look. So they're you'll find them. That's the way they come packaged. I also started doing. I've got a couple. I'm going to try to add a few more over the next week or so for the sale. It's not just everything that's in there today and once it's gone, it's gone. I'm going to try to add a few more, but I do have the kit bags to carry on finishing off as well. But I started putting in little individual zipper pulls. Try and get rid of the glare for you. It's glaring because of that. That you have a lobster claw. You can add this to a bag that doesn't have a zipper pull already. You could put it on your keychain. Do whatever you like with it, but I just think they're cute. And I did go ahead and package some up with some stitch markers. So this is just an individual one if that's all you want. I know I've sold the stitch markers before, the ladybugs, so if you already have them, you might just want a matching pull, or you can get a set like that. And as I said, seasonal, excuse me, I've got something like this, which is the pumpkins, and a long zipper pull. So that is everything. That's all the news for the shop this week. I hope you go on there, have a look, and get something Christmassy, if it motivates you to start your Christmas knitting. For those that are doing or will think about doing Christmas swaps, you know, it's a great time to get your bags at a discounted price. 25% off everything. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. So 25% off everything that goes in the shop this month. I'm not saying I'll keep it well stocked all month, but I will try to keep adding some things over the course of the next few weeks. That brings us to the end of the show. And as usual, I don't know how long it's been because I've stopped and started a few times, but it will get edited today. And again, Dan, I hope it works. I had no idea I could do this, and you showed me the little screenshot, the YouTube button. Duh, I didn't think about saving it there. I've never thought to click on it. So I will give this a go. And I'm going to turn the camera around and show you the piece of fluff. So long as I'm in her vicinity and she can hear us, well, she can't see me, but she hears me, she's happy. I have to turn it off to flick it round, so hold on. Baby sleeping. Oh, she's got her eyes open now. Bindi, Bindi, are you having a nap? Say bye-bye to everyone. So, Bindi says goodbye, and that leaves me to say goodbye. I hope you all have a fantastic week. I hope you've enjoyed being out with me on the porch this week. I do love being here with you, and I look forward to chatting with you every week. I can't tell you how much I enjoy this, and I can't believe I've been doing this for 2 years. I hope you stick around to watch a lot more, or chat with me a lot more. So, with that said, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope you come back next week and join me in the knitting den. Bye guys.